Graphic autopsy details of a triple homicide in 6 nations were explained in court today. This as the trial continues for one of the men charged in connection with 2 of those 2018 murders. Sylvie Lenve was in court and has this report.
Forensic pathologist Dr. Tyler Hickey says the bodies of Melissa Miller and Al Porter were wrapped in blankets and tied with electrical cords when they arrived to the lab. The pathologist said Miller, who was pregnant at the time, was stabbed 6 times in the chest, 8 times in the neck, as well as several times on her hand, which the pathologist said were from Miller probably trying to defend herself. He described how Al Porter's throat was slit and chest was stabbed. There was also blunt force trauma to his head, but the pathologist couldn't say what tool, if any, was used. Porter's 2 hands were also cut from what the pathologist says was likely self-defense. It's the 4th day of trial for Thomas Bomberry, accused of second-degree murder in the deaths of Melissa Miller and Al Porter. One of the witnesses, Kirsten Bomberry, previously told police that Thomas Bomberry hit Al Porter with a lacrosse stick or a baseball bat. The pathologist didn't rule out that injuries could have been caused by these objects, but did say Al Porter's cause of death was likely due to the stab wounds. Melissa and Al Porter's families were emotional as their autopsy photos were shown in court today. All 3 of the victims' families say they've been supporting each other throughout this entire process. Today, there are 3 wreaths at the scene of the killings in 6 nations. On the night of October 29, 2018, Melissa Miller and Al Porter were stabbed by Jamie Beaver and Nick Shipman, and Michael Jamison was later shot by Shipman. Their 3 bodies wrapped up in blankets and abandoned in a stolen truck an hour away. Kirsten Bomberry, one of the Crown's main witnesses, was supposed to be cross-examined today. She was jailed yesterday for contempt of court after she continued to repeat that she doesn't remember what happened that night at her home back in 2018. The judge also believed she was intoxicated. While in jail, she tested positive for drugs and therefore wasn't in court today. The trial continues Tuesday. Sylvie Lenve, CHCH News.